French cooking like French onion soup, a croque madame, a croque monsieur, because it has this beautiful, nutty, sweet element to it. Just by switching out the cheese, you can kind of get out of your boring old routine. If you are kind of just making omelets or egg bites, always with cheddar, try a Gruyere, try a Comté, an Emmenthal, and never buy pre-grated cheese. I've got my Kitchen HQ grater right here. By the way, look at that. It also acts as my kind of lemon or lime rind, so we kind of always try and think of everything. And grate in that cheese. Never buy pre-grated cheese. It's more expensive and packed with preservatives. Better to buy it fresh, grate it yourself. And I'm going to show you later on in the show how to vacuum seal it to keep it fresh. So I've got my cheese, I've got my bacon, I've got my scallion. Think about this in terms of just dumping some last night's leftovers, cooked sausage, cooked veg. Let me know on Facebook Live. What are you putting in your egg bites? What do you have kicking around in your fridge that you can say, oh, wait a second, I can actually do this. I could do it myself. I could do it at home. My wife loves egg whites with sun-dried tomatoes, feta. So get creative. Little Italian seasoning would be great as well. Now we've got from Kitchen HQ the actual egg bite maker. And check out how easy this is. First things first, I got to plug it in. Easy enough. And you'll see that the light turns on orange. There's no on-off button. There's no settings. There's no high heat, low heat. All you do is turn it on and let it get started. And while it gets started, you pour a little bit of water in there. And what the water does, this is so smart, it will kind of steam everything as it cooks. So those eggs, as they cook, rely on steam to kind of become, like I said, almost like a souffle, beautiful, light, fluffy texture, better than the store-bought ones by far. So we're going to rely on steam, and I don't know if you guys saw that also. We've got the perfect little molds to get that shape, that kind of perfect drive-through shape that you don't have to go out and buy ever again. Now, I keep talking about my tilting bowl, but look at this. It has that little spout, so I can pour in my mixture perfectly into my egg bite mold. So how cool is this? Now, this is just one flavor that I'm making, my personal favorite flavor, but on hsn.com, I made a ton of different recipes with flavor combinations to give you inspiration, to get you started. Like I said, my wife loves the egg white version with sun-dried tomato, feta, spinach. But I have a couple different versions online with pictures, with recipes. Definitely check that out on hsn.com. Now, this is coming up to a temperature. I just close it. There's a safety lock here, and we leave it. It's going to take anywhere between 4, 5, maybe 6 minutes. I'm going to show you it's not a crime to peek. You can take a peek and let it do its thing. You could do this the night before. If you know, like me, my kids are always kind of rushing to get out the door in time. Do them the night before. Reheat them in the microwave real quick. They're just as good. Or you could do them morning of. While you do that, we're going to make coffee. We're going to do the whole breakfast routine. So absolutely get creative. And I do hope everyone on Facebook Live is telling me, give me new ideas. What are you putting in your egg bites? What do you have kicking around in your fridge? What do you think would taste good? I'll be the official judge. What cheese would you like to try? Let's get out of just kind of cheddar all the time. And speaking of cheeses, while that's cooking, I'm also going to show you how it could be used as a panini press. So we've done grilled cheeses in here. We've done miniature pizza pies. We've done fruit pies, all sorts of things. So at Kitchen HQ, we want all of our items to kind of earn the space on your counter. If I'm asking you to kind of put this on your counter, it's got to do double duty. I mean, that's valuable real estate, right? So think about this just as your quick kind of ad hoc panini press for a quick sandwich, a grilled cheese, just to do, you know, I've even done French toast in here. And like I said, on hsn.com, those recipes are up. If you want to do one quick slice of French toast, you could do it in here super easily. Just take out those inserts for the eggs, and now it's a panini press. So let's just do a little light panini. I've got some sourdough bread, my favorite kind of bread, and I know during the pandemic, everyone started making sourdough. You can go back to buying it, no big deal. Now, little store-bought pesto, which I totally love. I also love sun-dried tomato pesto. If you find some of that, that's great. Get it on the inside of your bread. Sure, you could do a plain grilled cheese, but we could kind of amp it up a little bit, and it is summer, so what's the ultimate summer ingredient? Heirloom tomatoes. This is when tomatoes are in season. This is what makes a tomato special. So by heirloom tomato, I mean these tomatoes are grown in the same way that they've been grown for the last 100 years, right? No pesticides, antibiotics. That's why they're a little more pricey, but they're so worth it in the middle of summer when it's tomato season. Look for those colorful heirloom tomatoes, yellow, red, the funky green, and the different shapes. Slice your heirloom tomato nice and thin. By the way, these are great just in a salad. this is the time to enjoy heirloom tomatoes. Little olive oil balsamic, and off you go. So I'm going to put some heirloom tomatoes on one side, and a little fresh mozzarella. That's that ball of mozzarella in the fresh section. We're not going with the preservative-packed kind of fake stuff. I want it to taste good. So I'm going to go, it's almost like a caprese salad, but in panini form, right? Those elements of the pesto with the basil, the mozzarella, and the heirloom tomatoes. Load it up onto your sandwich. Here's a quick, vegetarian-friendly lunch. I'm not preheating an oven. I'm not doing much. I'm putting it in. Don't forget to plug it in. Plug it on in and close it. And that kind of lock compresses it into a kind of panini, which is super, super cool. So these are things that we can do every morning, again, with the egg bites. Don't buy them. Do them fresh. Scrambled eggs, kitchen scraps, whatever you got kicking around. Gruyere, different cheeses, and make it yourself. Do an egg white version. Use your leftovers. Use also your panini press version to make your grilled cheeses, to do that beautiful heirloom tomato panini, which I love. And I'm going to let them do their thing. But let's pretend it's morning, okay? I don't want to make oatmeal anymore. I don't want to make scrambled eggs. I've got my homemade egg bites cooking. I need a coffee. I do need a coffee. So over here, I've got my 1 cup